because off-road, the only vehicle that I can think of that competes with this in terms of competence and ride is the LR4.
It feels, smells, and handles like I think a Mercedes should. Hey Nathan, what kind of a monster SUV are you driving?
Well, it's more like a dinosaur because it's based on a good old Toyota Land Cruiser. This is the 2013 Lexus GX460.
And that, my friends, is a brand new 2013 Mercedes GL350. And here's the good part, diesel. The future, the past, up next on the Fast Lane Car. My friends, is yesterday's news. This is where we're going. Why? Because it's a diesel. And what makes this so special is that it's a 3-liter V6 that puts out horsepower, but 455 pound-feet of torque, which means that it gets very good gas mileage for a car, well, SUV, that weighs 5,500 pounds.
There's a reason Roman's not discussing the horsepower from his German machine. It's because it doesn't put out that much. This, on the other hand, puts out 301 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque from one of the smoothest 4.6-liter engines I've sampled. And yes, it's a V8. The problem is this thing weighs as much as a library, so it ain't fast, especially up here. Okay guys, we know that this doesn't quite compete with the Mercedes-Benz in terms of level, price and whatnot, but we know that the LX does. However, this is the most off-road worthy of all the Lexus vehicles currently made. And in terms of utility, kind of nice to have this, kind of nice to be able to load things in so they can go outward, and I'll tell you why. Because for some reason they have decided to stick with the conventional side opening door, which if a car is right behind you, yeah, good luck opening it.
This is the Mercedes-Benz of SUVs, literally. There are 3 sunroofs. There is more technology in the seat than there is in most cars. There's also an almost $90,000 price tag. But for 2013, they have made it a bit more usable by adding these very clever electric seats that allow for passenger ingress like this. See how easy that was? That is what you get when you get the Mercedes-Benz of SUVs.
Now, even though this is a foot shorter than the Mercedes-Benz, it does have a 3rd row seat that pops up here. It's smaller, but it does have it at least. So you're wondering maybe, why this vehicle? Why bother? You know, why not get the Toyota? The interior is really nice in this one. It's beautifully made. Lexus knows what they're doing.
It has air suspension, which allows me to raise it up to almost 11 inches. You can get one with an off-road package. This one doesn't have it, but you know, it doesn't really need it because it's doing very well.
That's the problem with these gas engines and big vehicles. They just don't do well. But fortunately, it does tow 7,000 pounds. That's not too bad. But to be honest with you, with the amount of power this thing actually feels like it has, I wouldn't tow more than 5,000.
You know, 21 miles to the gallon, which is what I'm getting in real-world driving, is not great. But for a big-ass 7-passenger SUV that can haul your whole family, plus tow your horses, 7,500 pounds towing capacity, that is phenomenal, just phenomenal. Mercedes, they knew not to mess with a good thing. The 2013 GL looks a lot like the 2012. In fact, if you parked them together, you'd have a hard time telling them apart. There's a different grille, there's a better light treatment, otherwise they're very similar. The Lexus, on the other hand, it looks like a startled cat.
Okay, startled cat might be a little harsh. I think it looks like an angry water buffalo. A water buffalo that can go over just about anything. And in fact, a lot of you who may have recognized this because it's related to the Toyota Land Cruiser, hell, if it had a UN flag up there, it looks like it would be tearing ass through the Middle East. Here's the thing. I think Roman's vehicle looks much better, but it kind of screams mommy.
The interior is nice, you know, it's not bowl me over fantastic like some of the newest Audis, but the leather, the materials, the placement of the controls, even the feel of the steering wheel, which to me is crucial, is spot on.
In terms of actual performance, in terms of getting on and off freeway on-ramps, in terms of being able to go and pass somebody, it's really hard, and it shifts constantly trying to find a way to optimize its speed.
Over 500 miles per tank full in this vehicle. Now that is great because let's face it, pumping diesel is never fun.
It is nearly a military vehicle when it comes to ability. It is frighteningly good.
You know, Nathan, these are both great off-road, but I have to give thumbs up to this one because with 7-speed transmission and a clean burning diesel that motivates 5,500 pounds of heavy truck and gets 21 mpg, that is the future.
Yeah, this thing is a bit pokey and kind of piggish because let's just face it, it's big and heavy, but it's fantastic off-road. If Toyota decided to allow Americans to have this with a big fat diesel, ooh, it would kick ass. But as it is, it's just a little too slow.
So on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I'm gonna give this diesel a buy it, even though at $89,000 it blows many people's budgets.
At nearly $70,000, this baby, at the best, lease it. You gotta try it out and make sure you wanna actually drive this vehicle every day.
As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
See you next time on the Fast Lane Car. Let's go get a muddy again.
Yeah.